Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be my January and February TBR. It is very weird to be thinking about my January and February TBR already because I'm currently filming this in like the middle of December, but I have a lot of videos I'm filming in the beginning of January, so I thought I would just go ahead and do my January and February reading plans video now. After February, so in March and onwards, the rest of my TBRs for 2024 will be seasonal. So I will do like a spring TBR, summer TBR, and then a fall TBR and a winter TBR. The reason why my January and February TBR is not included in the winter TBR reading plans is simply because I didn't want to think about January and February when I was planning my December TBR and like what I wanted to read for the rest of the year. So that's why they're kind of split up, but the rest of 2024 will have seasonal TBRs. I also want to start including some release dates for self-published books that are now being traditionally published. I have a couple in here that I'm going to mention for January and February, but some of my favorite books that are self-published are now getting traditional publishing deals, and so they are being re-released. And normally I wouldn't really talk about them because I mean I've already read them and I already love them and I own the self-published edition, but because so many are now being published, it is really hard to keep up with everything. So I am going to now start incorporating release dates for books that I've already read like the indie version for, but the traditional published version is being published, if that makes sense. I'm not going to do all of them. It's just going to be ones that I love and some of my favorite books. So I guess I'm going to get on to my TBR now, and I'm going to talk about the January releases first. So for January, there are no new releases that I will be reading or that I'm anticipating, but there are some new re-releases with new covers, new editions. So we have Barbarian's Touch by Ruby Dixon. This is the 7th book in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. Then we have the new published edition of Gothic Anna by Rue Nix. This is out January 23rd. I love this book. I am very excited to have this pretty edition. I believe the end papers are purple, and I think there is some nice art throughout the book, like the self-published edition, but I think it's different art. So I'm excited about this edition. And then the other republished book we have is All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. This is the new cover, the new edition. This is out January 30th. For February releases, there is only one that I'm anticipating that's new, and that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is out February 6th, and this is a vampire and werewolf arranged marriage romance. I'm very excited about this book. I love paranormal romances and I love arranged marriage romances, so I just feel like this one is going to be a really good one, and I'm hoping I really love it. And then the one like re-release is Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. This is the 3rd book in the Boys of Tommen series, and this comes out February 20th. So that was it for all of the new releases / re-releases. Now on to the rest of my TBR. So I really want to get back into reading on my iPad, reading some ebooks. I feel like it's been a long time since I have read an ebook, and I really want to get back into doing that because A, it's cheaper, and B, it is just easier. But I've gotten so used to reading physical books, I feel like it's really hard for me to concentrate on ebook, but I'm gonna try, and I think I just need to get back into reading some of my favorite authors. So the first one I want to read is Folk Around and Find Out by Penny Reid. This is the 2nd book in her Good Folk series, and this is Hank's story. I have heard wonderful things about this. I somewhat enjoyed the 1st book, but I really want to continue this series because the 3rd book does come out this year. So if I like this book, I am gonna hopefully read the 3rd one. Then we have Brutal Billionaire by Laura Lynn Page. It's been a really long time since I've read a Laura Lynn Page, and I've heard that this one is toxic and over the top and dramatic, which is my favorite when I'm in the right mood. I don't really know anything about this other than I think the male character is very possessive. Billionaire, workplace, standalone, featuring elements of fake relationship, marriage of convenience, enemies to lovers, and a new alpha hole readers will love to hate. So I'm sure this will be a fun time. It also seems very long. It's like 500 pages, but I am excited to read this. It is time that I get back into Sawyer Bennett's hockey romances, so I'm going to read Baden by Sawyer Bennett. This is the first book in the Pittsburgh Titans series. I think this series already has like 10 books out or something like that, so I have a long way to catch up, but I want to at least start this series. I really enjoyed her other hockey romance series, so I'm sure I will also enjoy this one. I believe it follows our male character who is obviously a hockey player, and I think he gets into an accident and he saves this woman's life, and I believe that they fall in love or something like that. The other one I want to read is Until May by Aurora Rose Reynolds. This is book 11 in the Until Him/Her series. It has been a long time since I've read this series and continued it. The female character signs up for a dating app and believes she's getting catfished until she bumps into the guy who is a famous ex-soccer player. So that's kind of it for all the ebooks that I'm hoping to get to. Now onto some of the physical books that I want to read. So I'm hoping to reread Gabriel's Redemption by Sylvain Bernard. This is the third book in the Gabriel's Inferno series. I want to reread this and watch the movie and hopefully make a whole video on it. I was hoping to do this in December, but I don't have time. So it's going to either be end of January or like beginning of February-ish. That is when I'm hoping to do this video. It's just going to be a very long project for me because it'll probably take me like a good 5 to 6 hours to reread this. And then each movie I think is like almost 2 hours and I have 3 of them to watch. So it's going to take me like 2 days, 2.5 days maybe to film everything and watch everything, read it. And then it'll take me a while to edit. So it's just a huge process, but I am hoping to reread this and finally watch the movies and say goodbye to these characters, possibly. I don't know if they're going to make Gabriel's Promise into movies, but I think for now it will be goodbye. It's a bittersweet feeling when it comes to the series, but yeah, I'm excited to reread this because it has been a while. Then I have a couple of like older contemporaries that I've been wanting to read. So we have The Heart Principle by Helen Hoang. I believe this is the third book in this series, which I'm totally blanking on what it's called. But I've read The Kiss Quotient and The Bride Test and I enjoyed both of them. So I am also hoping to enjoy this one. I don't really know anything about it, but I've heard some very mixed feelings on this book. I remember when it came out, some people loved it, some people really did not like it. So we'll see how I feel about it. I feel like this could be a good book to read around February and Valentine's Day. I would also like to get to When Sparks Fly by Helena Hunting. This is the first book in this like little trilogy, I think. I think they're just companion books. But I'm pretty sure I own the next book in this series as well. So I would like to start this series and possibly continue it. The female characters' family run a event hotel. Oh, I believe this is Friends to Lovers and roommates. Ooh, they're roommates. The female character gets into an accident and he has to take care of her. Sounds like it could be a really cute Friends to Lovers romance. So I am looking forward to hopefully reading that. And then I want to read Made in Manhattan by Lauren Lane. It has been a very long time since I've read some Lauren Lane, so I would love to get this off of my physical TBR. Our female character, I think, is friends with the male character's grandmother, and her task is to get the male character to be ready to take over his family business. So to be like involved in all of the socialite stuff. I'm sure it'll just be a very quick and easy romance. And then I would love to read A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. I have seen the new traditionally published editions of this series and I just feel like it's time that I finally start it. I have obviously the indie cover. I honestly have no idea what this is about. I've read a couple books by Megan Quinn before and I've really enjoyed them. The like third act breakup situation is never my favorite with her books. I feel like she does the same thing over and over again and I despise that. But the series is really popular, so I'm sure it's not the same as her other books. I feel like this could be fake dating. That's genuinely all I know. I don't know. And I kind of just want to go into it blind. And then the last book that I'm definitely hoping to get to is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Last Hours trilogy. I would really love to read this. I keep putting it off because I've heard really bad things about the third book. And I don't want to be disappointed with it. But I think if I go into it knowing that the third book isn't the best, like not everybody loved it, I feel like it'll be okay. You know what I mean? Like if I know that going in to it, maybe I won't be disappointed. I love the Shadowhunter world and series, and I'm really excited to read about this new generation. Well, it's not a new generation, an older generation, I guess, technically, but I'm excited to get to know these new characters. I mean, ideally, I'd love to binge the entire trilogy in January and February, but we'll see. I'm just hoping I at least start it. So as of right now, those are all of my reading plans for January and February. Obviously, we'll see what the mood strikes. I have a feeling I might be in more of a mood to read some YA books, so we'll see if I want to do that. There were some I was going to save for a video, but I feel like I might just need to bite the bullet and do it when I'm in the right mood for it. So we'll see. But this is kind of a majority of what I want to read. I want to start getting back into my favorite authors, reading some of their recent releases or their older ones that I am behind on. But that is it for this video. Let me know what your reading plans are for January and February. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!